This is Chris and Kelly.
With Marriage Medics.
There you go. It's a little better.
But we're really not medics.
With Marriage Medics.
Oh, with?
We didn't say Chris and Kelly, who are the Marriage Medics.
We're with them.
We're with Marriage Medics. Anyway, start the video.
Okay. So we wanted to take just a minute and throw a few things at you to try to get you to understand a little bit about appreciation. And by appreciation, sometimes we feel underappreciated. And I think probably every one of us, unless you have a Jim Dandy job and you've got just a terrific boss and everybody just understands you so well, you probably feel underappreciated, maybe even on a daily basis. Hopefully it's not a daily basis, but it might be. But appreciation is something that we really need, we want. It's part of the physical makeup and the mental makeup of us as humans, is we really want to be appreciated. Well, there's no lack of that, or maybe there is, in relationships, because for the man especially, I would say that we want to really be appreciated for what we're doing. We go out and we leave the house and we go out and we work, we do whatever we do to support our families. And men take pride in that, and I think that's, you know, a great thing to do, and to try to be proud of what you do and how you do it. And I think that's one of the things that motivates us as men, is trying to provide and do those things. But appreciation. Sometimes we need to show some appreciation instead of just really crave it. So one of the ways that we like to try to appreciate each other is go on little trips, little day trips. Maybe one day we'll get in the car and we'll decide that we're going to go somewhere and we don't know where we're going to go. And she might say, "Where do you want to go today?" And of course I have no idea. Are you making gestures behind me?
I'm scratching my back.
Oh, you're scratching your back. You got a skeeter bite?
I don't know.
That's one of the hazards
Paranoid.
of making. That's one of the hazards of making videos outside, is all the critters and the skeeters and the no-see-ums. I want to tell you something. If you're watching this video and you're not from the South, you may not know what a no-see-um is, but a no-see-um can leave a mark. And I mean, they can hurt you bad. And so I'll give her the scratching time she needs, because we're out here in the hazards of the woods. But
Thank you.
doing little things for each other. It doesn't have to be something like a day trip, but we really enjoy the day trips. But just try to think of something that you can do to show your spouse some appreciation. And we have gone to several places here in the last 3 years or so, and we have thoroughly enjoyed it. With all the things that are on the internet today, you can find anything you want to. You can go. Now,
The state park trip was very nice.
Yeah, that was really
very nice.
That was really cool, because we didn't plan for it to be that. We just wanted to do something different. But I'll tell you a little bit of how. Do we tell all the things we did, or just kind of generalize, say it?
You can tell. It doesn't matter.
Cheaha State Park in Alabama, over on the Georgia side of Alabama, probably 3/4 of the way down, maybe half of the way, 3/4 of the way down the state. Cheaha State Park was a really good place to go, because it's remote. You're not going to have, neon signs glaring through your windows when you go there, like most of our state parks in Alabama, but meaning that you don't have neon lights shining in our state parks in Alabama, because we're very rural in most of our areas. But we had a very nice experience there, and then from there we really didn't know exactly what we were going to do, but we basically went on a waterfall tour and just drove to different waterfalls. We ended up at Fall Creek Falls in Tennessee, and we hiked the trails down to the falls, and we took pictures with the falls and all that kind of thing. But that was really, really nice. Most of the state parks that we stayed at required a 2-night minimum. Now, you can call them and ask them. I'm not bashful about calling and asking for things like that, but We went during COVID, and some of the state parks were just overwhelmed during COVID because people were traveling. If you could work from home, why not work from a camper in a state park? I think that was kind of the mentality of most people. You couldn't buy a camper back during that period of time, not the smaller, us kind of folk campers, but there was a really big interest by a lot of people to do a lot of traveling at that time. So we would just call and ask them, could we stay for just one night instead of the two, so that we could continue our journey and not have to stay in one spot for several days. That was really nice. What was something else that you thought was pretty cool?
Well, I love the state park, the trip. I'd like to do another one of those because there's so many state parks, and we went to some caverns, and I think that would be another great trip is to just like take states and certain parts of the states, because there's so many, and just do state parks and caverns and waterfalls, and
those kind of things is it doesn't really cost a whole lot.
No, it doesn't. But another thing, and you could tent, you could camp, or take a tent, and it's a little bit more expensive if you stay in a cabin, but you could. It is no more expensive than a hotel room.
No.
So that was really fun, but you don't have to.
Just kind of make a.
If you're tight on money, you don't have. You can, like you said, day trips. We do a lot of day trips. We talked about, we have a special needs daughter. She's 29 years old, and so a lot of times we don't know what our days are going to hold, what our weeks are going to hold, and we don't know when we're going to have time alone. So if we have a day and something happens and it's a day and we don't have other things going on, we'll just jump in the car and just go somewhere. We love driving down Natchez Trace. We've driven good ways on it.
Yeah.
But we love driving it, and there's a lot of places to stop and look at, and just a lot of day trips. But one thing I will say, since you brought up appreciation, I have to say this in this video about showing each other appreciation. One thing that I did not do our first go around in our first marriage was first marriage to each other. Sorry, that just didn't sound right.
So what you're trying to clarify is that we were married to each other for nearly 20 years, and we divorced.
Yes.
And then we remarried.
Yes. Our first go around when
so
I say it like
that kind of be an awkward statement to say in our first marriage when they know that we're married now, and you're sitting here rambling on about in our first marriage. If the people are picking up this video for the very first time, that really don't make a whole lot of sense.
I know. That's what I tried to clarify. So,
okay.
In our first marriage to each other.
I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks. So you appreciate it. Appreciation. So anyway, one thing I wanted to say is one thing that I struggled with the first go around was that I did not appreciate you enough as far as trying to be the provider for the home. And I know I now know that it's a tremendous job, and it's a lot of weight on a man's shoulders. And don't get me wrong, I know that a lot of women now are out working and helping the men provide for the family. Sometimes the men, have problems, and the woman's out working, and
you work
issues.
You work with me every day, so I mean, you have employment.
Yes, I'm not saying that only the man is out working, providing, but just normally in this culture, it's always, the man, and biblically, the man is supposed to provide for the family. And so it's a lot of weight on a man's shoulders, and I did not take that as serious as I should have, and I didn't realize what entailed that responsibility. So a lot of times I would, like we talked about before, the nagging and the griping and the complaining and criticizing. I did a lot of that. I was a stay-at-home mom, and thankfully I was a stay-at-home mom for so many years, but the whole time it was me. It was, I'm, like we talked about in our denying self, it was, I'm lonely. I'm, staring at these four walls with these kids that, are at home driving me crazy and running through their house going crazy. And he's off at work living the life, and with his one job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and all the other extracurricular activities that he did, because, this, and like I said, this was before, but it was just I felt like he was living his life, and I wasn't. I was thinking about self, and I did not stop, not one time, until we reconciled and we started doing all of this healing together. I did not stop one time to realize. I probably realized it while we were apart, but
you didn't stop to realize it. See, you've
I didn't
only
stop.
stopped to
I didn't
realize
stop.
it.
Yeah, I didn't stop. I probably realized it, more, especially when I was working. But to realize the the responsibility that put on you, and I wasn't appreciative. I wasn't appreciative of the work that you put in for the family, and I didn't realize the responsibility that is put on men. So I was just gonna say, as a side note, I think wives need to make sure that they appreciate their husbands, and yes, husbands appreciate your wives, and show each other every day. It doesn't have to be cards and flowers. I think it's a good thing to do, to give your wife pickup, and it doesn't have to be expensive or anything crazy from a flower shop to be delivered for $100. You can just pick up a bouquet from Dollar General for $10. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Am I supposed to say Dollar General?
Does Dollar General have flowers?
Yes, Dollar General has flowers.
The vinyl ones?
No, these were maybe it was around a certain holiday, but anyway. That's just
You might want to tell them Publix.
Well, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be expensive. Pick up a bouquet of flowers every now and then, whether it's once a month. Pick up a card.
I thought you just
once
said
a
it
month.
doesn't have to be cards and flowers.
This is where he doesn't let me finish before he starts adding his little.
No, I'm just listening. I'm
No,
just doing what the people are doing. The people are like, wait a minute, she just said don't do that.
No, I said it doesn't have to be.
Oh, it
but
doesn't
even
have
though,
to be, but
I said it
it
doesn't
sure
have to
helps.
be, but I do.
Fellas, I hope you heard all of that.
I do think
It doesn't
that
have to be.
those are
Here's
nice
how this works out.
gestures. Those are nice, inexpensive gestures. But even if it's not that, put a little note in a book that they're going to pick up.
Hide
and
the
read.
note in the flowers, guys. Don't listen to all this.
Yes, it doesn't have to be that every time. I just said maybe once a month, once every 6 months. Sometime, not just every birthday or every anniversary or, some little, it has to be a day. Just let them know that you appreciate them. And wives, make sure, because that will go a long way with the problems that you have with your husband. If you are having some issues, a lot of times, if you will just turn around and show him appreciation and treat him the way you're wanting to be treated. I know that sounds crazy. It's the
That sounds like a Bible verse, don't
the
it?
golden rule that's been here forever. But if you do that, you will see a difference in your husband and the way he acts. And one of you has to start it. One of you has to be the one to initiate this kind of treatment, because normally the other one is sitting back. Usually it's the wife. Well, he doesn't do this. Well, he doesn't do that. Well, I'm not going to do this because he didn't do that. Well, I'm not going to, he didn't remember our anniversary, so I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to, somebody has to initiate this type of treatment and appreciation. And
Did you have somebody in your mind right then that you were mimicking?
I will not say. Maybe it was me in the first go
You were-
in the first marriage.
That's traumatic. That's very traumatic.
But make sure you appreciate your husband, because he does so much, and even if he needs a
That's
lot
okay.
of help
Keep
to
going.
do that.
Keep going. I saw it way before you did.
Are we gonna stop?
No.
No.
Just so y'all don't think we're crazy, we're making a video. So we didn't want y'all to think we were like lunatics and you shouldn't get close or anything, Enjoy the beauty. We'll not try to get in your way. We'll just stay right here.
We're from Tennessee.
You're from Tennessee.
Okay.
Well, we're from Alabama. We make YouTube videos for marriages. And so that's what we're doing. We're trying to do a little thing to help marriages. And so that's what we're doing. And if you want to come over here, come be a part of our video.
I have no makeup.
Well, they can't tell that from a video.
What can?
Well, that's great. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Today, just ride around looking at different parts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, y'all enjoy your day. We're just gonna keep on here. Well, that's what we're trying to do. MarriageMedics.com. MarriageMedics.com, or you can go to Marriage Medics on YouTube, and you can catch up on some. And if you're walking behind us now, you'll get to see yourself on the YouTube. So, all right. Okay. Well, we'll invite you back for the next episode. So where were you? Oh yeah, you were imitating yourself from the previous life.
I was. No, I was just saying that. I was just saying that you definitely need to appreciate your husband, because that's very important, and it will come back to you with his actions, and you will see the appreciation in turn. That's what I wanted to say.
Are you done now?
I'm done.
Okay. So back to where we were a few minutes ago before all this. Look, here's basically, I think you guys have already gotten this from the video already, but here's what I'll tell you. She's saying it doesn't have to be about cards and flowers, but what she means is it doesn't have to be about cards and flowers. Okay? And so little things that you can do for each other. It doesn't have to be anything major. It can be, like she's saying, a note of gratitude and thanking somebody for doing something. It doesn't have to be a trip to the Bahamas. It can be something as small as, you know, I've taken off today so that I can spend the day with you. Do something that shows that you appreciate what's being done in your relationship. And then the other thing is, we mentioned the state parks and we mentioned the waterfalls and the caves and things like that. We found a little place up in Tennessee. It's outside of Nashville, called Butterfly Hollow. And Butterfly Hollow was quite an amazing place. So in what few little minutes we have left, I'll tell you that if you check some of these places out, you might find little deals like what I found. I was looking for something, had no idea what it was going to be, and it was our anniversary, so I was trying to find something neat. And I happened to see it the weekend before our anniversary. They were offering a 2-for-1, 2 nights for the price of 1, because he had booked up, Dave at Butterfly Hollow had booked up most of the rooms, but he still had a couple of rooms left. So to fill the weekend, he went ahead and did a 2-for-1. And so I saw it and made a quick phone call to my mother-in-law to find out if the babysitting thing was available, and it was. So we booked it and we enjoyed Butterfly Hollow. It was really cool. Now, if you do decide to go to Butterfly Hollow, do not judge it on the road going in, because we went in at night and it was kind of a little 2-lane road. We're used to that. We're in rural Alabama. That's no big deal. But going in there at night and you're thinking it's some 5-star resort, which it was nice. Now don't get me wrong, there's no, but Dave can't control the county roads leading up to his place. And
It's like in a scary movie.
did you just say that?
Yes.
People aren't going.
Well, the reviews when we looked it up, the reviews said that. I
Yeah,
don't know
one
how
guy
you missed,
says
how you missed it when you were looking it up, but
I
after
don't look at reviews.
yeah, I'm the review.
Why in the
person
world?
always.
Why would
When-
I look at a review? The price was right.
Ladies, do we not all go into a restaurant and look at the score of the restaurant? Men do not do that. First thing I say is,
If people aren't puking on the way out, it's all right
What's
for
the
me to
score
go
here?
in.
yeah. So he doesn't look at reviews, but it was on the review, so it's out there that it was like a scary movie.
Well, okay, but Butterfly Hollow is a if you're close, anywhere close to Middle Tennessee, that's one of the places we would definitely recommend to go. And don't call Dave and say Marriage Medics said 2-for-1, because that was just a deal he was doing to run his business. And I appreciate it. And Dave cooked breakfast for us, and he sat out and talked with us like he was one of our neighbors, and we really appreciated what he does, and we would recommend that. So if you guys get the chance, do something different, do something. Put that on me.
You're making me want to go back to Butterfly Hollow.
Well, I've already thought about that, because I went looking through our pictures the other day, of Butterfly Hollow because it was our anniversary again. So I was kind of looking back through and I saw some of our anniversary pictures from Butterfly Hollow, which was really cool. But anyway, and when you find a sweet spot like that, make it a frequency, you know. Do it often. You don't have to do it for your anniversary. You can do it for something else. And just try to do something different. But do something the same if that's what you like. Just do something for each other. Not for yourself, but for each other. Do something that your spouse likes. And I think that's kind of like how people say you can't outgive God. I think that's also how it works in a marriage. You can't out-contribute or out-give to your spouse. They'll always want to give you back. Sorry for the little intrusion there. We have had people walk up on us and we paused the video, and so Kelly says, well, should we pause it? And I'm like, nah, man, put that in there. They just
Hopefully somebody will
join us.
come around and join us, and we can kind of ask their opinion on things, because I think that'll be cool.
We'll turn this into a full interview podcast for long when the right person comes along.
You heard her. If she, I don't know if you could hear her or not on there, but if she had her makeup on and her hair fixed, she would be in this video.
Right. They were camping here local to the lake.
Yes.
So they're out on their, is it afternoon already? What time is it? Afternoon stroll. So, all right, guys, we're gonna shut this one down. But kind of what we're wanting to try to get you to understand is that it's all in the little things. Do something small. It doesn't have to be great big, gestures. Just do something small. Just like at work when somebody comes up and pats you on the back or tells you, "Attaboy, that's a good job." We need to hear that in our relationships too.
Take the I out of it. It's not what I want. It's what can I do for them. What's something they would enjoy. Are we finished?
Knock yourselves out.